roll the spine forwards, allowing those bones to melt and drop and hang. Exactly. And a little support from those deep low abs to return the hips. And then keeping the weight evenly distributed on those feet, we stack the bones upright to standing. Let's do one more like this. Soft breathing through it. Inhale. Exhale, releasing the spine, letting the ribs fan forwards. And inhale, exhale to roll out. So a little deepening from those low abdominals. On this next one, we're going to make our way to all fours. So you're going to start to roll the spine down, softening the knees as you need to. And then when your hands reach the mat, you're going to come to 4-point kneel. So hands under your shoulders, knees under your pelvis. And we're going to continue rounding the spine. So start to draw your tail towards the top of your head. And reversing that, release your hips, release your sits bones, and draw the chest forward and up. We'll do that again. So leaving with that tail, drawing under, maybe a little deepening of those abs as you round through the spine. And then as you release your pelvis, think of those sit bones fanning apart and chest drops forward. 2 more. Inhale, exhale, big rounding the spine, tail to top of head. Good. And then as the tail releases, imagine those sitting bones at the base of the pelvis widening and opening, ribs drop forward. Nice work. Last one to round through the spine. So big fanning of those ribs. And we're going to return to our neutral spine. So lengthening out through top of head, lengthening out through the tail, allowing a natural curve through our lower back. No tucking or gripping in the abdominals. Taking a hinge action through the hips now. So I'm going to fold through the backs of my knees and float the hips halfway back, just halfway. Keeping those sits bones nice and wide, I'm going to float my hips forward over top of the knees. I'll go through that again. So this should feel fairly gentle through the hips and the back. It's more about mobilizing the hinge through the hips and less about muscular work. We'll do that a few more times. So without tucking the pelvis, send those sits bones straight back on the horizon. And then keeping them pointing on the horizon, float the hips forward. We'll do one more here. Inhale, widening those sitting bones. Exhale to return. Good. Bring your right hand to the top of your head, so right behind the head. I'll face this way so you can see. We're going to go into a rotation, so you're going to push into that left hand and start to open up the right shoulder to twist. And then we're going to roll that shoulder back into the middle to return. Take a big breath here. Inhale, push, exhale, widen from the center of the chest. And then inhale, exhale, return center. 2 more. Inhale, exhale, widen from the center of the chest. And inhale, exhale, return. Let's do one more here. Inhale, exhale, widen. Inhale, exhale, return your arm down. 1 hip hinge in between sides. So sit bones widen and point straight back. And we keep that wide sits bone feeling to return the hips forward. Going to the other side here. Left hand behind the head, square through the shoulders. Take a big inhale to start to open the center of the chest to the left. Exhale, twist. And then inhale, exhale, roll it back to return. Try to think of a continuous length through the top of the head as you open that chest. And then roll it back to return. 2 more here. Inhale. Exhale, twist, and inhale, exhale, return. Last one, inhale, exhale, twist, inhale, exhale, return. Let's do one more hip hinge before we transition. So nice deepening, fold of those hip creases, and then float the hips forward. Nice work. So we're gonna move on now to a little bit more specific work for our core muscles. So core muscles are not just in our abdominals, but core muscles are in our glutes, in our calves, in our knees, in our shoulders, etc. So we try to cue into all those specifics at the beginning. All right, so let's lie down on our mats. Feet can be sit bone width apart. I'll give everyone a second to get settled there. That's it. We're gonna start today with our arms down by our hips, and then we're gonna do some hip rolls. So this might be familiar to you. Start to deepen the low abs to lengthen the tailbone into the floor. And then continuous peeling of that spine off the mat till the weight drops back into the shoulders. Make sure those feet are spread into the mat. And then you're gonna roll the spine back down. So I start by dropping my chest, then my ribs, then my hips, and then my tail releases at the very end. Again, we cue specifically into those low abs deepening. So I'm rounding my hips forward, tailbone lengthens, and then curl and peel the spine off of the mat. Weight drops back into the shoulders. Start to roll back down to return. Good. I want you to think specifically about your glutes now. So we talk about the abs initiating that roll. And now I want you to think of squeezing your glutes to press the hips up so they're supporting the lower back. And as you roll back down, relax your glutes gradually till the hips release. Let's cue into that again with the arms lifted over our chest. So the arms up, we deepen from those low abs to curl, and then start to squeeze your glutes to lift the hips up to that hip roll position. And then as you roll down, slowly relax your glutes, releasing the tail at the very bottom. Last two here. Inhale, deep scoop of those abdominals. Exhale, gathering glutes to support the abs. And then inhale, releasing those muscles at the very end. We'll do one more. We're going to stay up in our hip press. So you're going to curl and roll up. Little extra cues here. Think the low abs are deepening. Glutes are engaging, inner thighs are squeezing. Arms stay lifted, and we're gonna scissor the arms. Left arm's gonna reach overhead as the right arm touches down, and then switch, right arm up and left arm down. And as we do these arm scissors, just let those shoulders glide and reach with the arms. So no need to hold the shoulders, let them move. All that support's coming from glutes, abs, inner thighs. We'll do two more each side here, reach and reach. One more each side here, reach and reach. Both arms are gonna come forward, and then we're gonna roll our spine down towards the mat, releasing. Good. Let's just take our thighs open like little butterfly wings, and then roll them back to the middle. A slow release of those thigh bones and a slow return. Just a few more to open up those hips. And rolling open and return. Last one here, open and return. Good. Okay, going into some abdominal work now. You're gonna stay where you are. We're gonna talk a little bit about how we support from those low abs. So if you had a pant zipper of a low-rise jean on, it would sort of draw up from your pubic bone halfway to your knee bone. So go ahead and sort of feel that internal zippering of those lower abdominals. So we feel that intensifying through the low abs. And then use that to bring one knee up to tabletop, so knees over hip. And then deepening a little further to bring the other knee up as well. So this should be felt entirely in the abs. If it doesn't, think of pushing your belly button down towards the floor and lengthening the tailbone under. And let's just reset from here. So tapping one toe down to return the foot, releasing the other foot down. We're going to continue into a little series. So again, if you feel this in the low back, stop and reset, or just deepen those abs, okay? So go ahead, deepen the abs to lift one thigh up, maintain those abs to lift the other thigh up. From here, we're going to slowly float the right toe down to tap, and then exhale, float the toe back up. Other side, inhale, toe taps, exhale, return. Inhale, toe taps, exhale, return. We're going to think of that thigh moving away from our pelvis and not letting the whole hips rock with the legs. We're Stabilizing from those lower abdominals, not letting the pelvis move. And we'll do one more each side here. Inhale to tap, exhale to return. One more, inhale to tap, exhale to return. We're gonna reset once more before we go on. So right foot down, left foot down, relax your abs, and then just open the hips to that butterfly, and then back in through the middle. Deepening the abs once more to pick the left knee up, and then to pick the right knee up as well. We're gonna take our arms up, palms face towards our thighs, and then start to roll the chest and the head forward to come up into ab curl. So our ab curl here, belly is deepening to spine. We're gonna reach opposite arm to leg. Let's start with the legs. So we're gonna reach right leg out on that diagonal. Exhale, fold the knee back in. Other side, inhale, left leg reaches on the diagonal. Exhale, bring it into a turn. One more each side, just the legs. Inhale, exhale, inhale. Now adding the arms, so my left hand is gonna reach back as my right toes reach out. Exhale, arm and leg return. Right arm, left leg, inhale, and exhale, return. Inhale, reach. Exhale, return. If you feel the neck is working too hard, you can always come down and just do arm and leg. So there's a modification for the neck. Or we're gonna keep going here for 3, for 2, for 1. And let's return the arms first. Keep the thighs up. Release your head down. Counting to 5, we're gonna slowly lower the toes in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 to release the feet down. Taking your hands behind your head now. That's it. You're going to point your toes so the heels are lifted off of the mat. That's it. And we're gonna come forward into like an ab curl. So starting to lift the head forwards towards the knees, deepening those abs, and then releasing the head back down. Deep exhale, curling forwards. Inhale, releasing down. Deep exhale to curl and release. And to curl and release. And curl and release. And curl. Take your right knee up to tabletop. Same 5 curls here. Release and 4. Release and 3, 2. We're gonna stay up and hold on 1. Stretch that right leg all the way out along the diagonal and do 3 more little ab curls. So lift higher, up and down. And curl 2 and down. And curl 1, lower down. You're gonna stretch the left leg up to meet the right, and then lower the feet down in 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax the abs before we switch sides here. So folding the knees up. You can sway the knees from side to side. We'll do that once more now with our left leg. So begin with your toes pointed, heels up. We'll start with our ab curls, just 2 feet down. And I want you to focus on keeping the pelvis neutral, meaning that I'm not pushing my hips forward to do that ab curl. I'm gonna exaggerate that. But we're keeping the pelvis quiet and using those abdominals to lift the spine up. Take your left knee up now. We'll do the same 5. Exhale for 5, inhale, lower. Exhale for 4, inhale, lower. Exhale for 3, exhale for 2. You're gonna hold up on this next one. For 1, extend that left leg long, keeping the pelvis square. Lift up a little higher. Exhale, and then inhale, return. Exhale, inhale, return. 1 more, exhale. Inhale, return. We're gonna reach our arms towards the toes. Both feet reach up and finish out with 5 pulses here. Pulsing for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hugging the knees into the chest. Release your spine down and just rock the hips from side to side. Good. We'll come back to some abdominal work in a little bit, but For now, I want you to come onto your side. For this one, we're doing a spine twist. So we need enough space around us so that we can reach our arm all the way back. So I'm gonna set up here on my right side with my arm under my head for a little pillow, and then my top arm is gonna reach above, or in front of my chest, I should say. Yeah. And then from here, we're gonna go into a spine twist. So you're gonna start to lift your arm up to the side. And then as you roll the shoulders open, you can look back towards that hand and let your ribs start to spill back as well. Even that top half of the pelvis spills back into that twist. And then start to roll back onto that side. So your hips gradually return, the ribs, and then the shoulders. So I know we're being specific about this, but we're trying to get all parts of the spine moving in that rotation. So first, that upper chest rolls back, the ribs roll back, and then the hips. And then start to return hips, ribs, and shoulders, sort of like we're ringing out the spine. We'll do 2 more like that. So nice inhale to open, exhale, rolling back, shoulder, ribs, hip, and then returning hips, ribs, and shoulder. Last one here, inhale, exhale, ringing out the spine, and inhale, exhale, rolling the spine back to return. Excellent. Come up onto your shoulder here. Knees are going to stay tucked together. And then we'll just take a moment to talk about that supporting side. So if we sort of relax into that shoulder, kind of in that lounge mode, try to pull up under that supporting shoulder and lengthen out that supporting side so we can feel that active side body. From here, we're going to lift our hips up to a hover and then lower the hips down. That's it. Exhale, press the hips up. Good. Inhale, lower down with control. Just 2 more to lift and lower and lift and lower. We're going to lift the hips up and stay. You're going to take that top arm and try to reach it under your chest like you're doing a twist. And then unfold that arm, release the hips down. That's it, everyone. So we lift the hips up and then take the arm under the chest to twist and then unfold and lower. 2 more here, breathing with it. Inhale, lift. Exhale, twist. Inhale, open. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, twist. Inhale, open. Exhale to lower back down. Good. So before switching sides, we're going to do a transition through our 4-point meal. So if you're on your right side, know that your right knee is going to be the one that's down onto the mat. This will make sense when you get to it. If you're on your left side, know that your left knee will be the supporting knee. Okay, so if we're coming to 4-point meal, I was just on my right side. So my right knee is down and my left leg will be back like this. Yeah, I'm just gonna switch sides so I have room for my arm. So left leg is gonna float up to hip height. And the right arm is gonna open side like we have an airplane wing. That's it. And keeping that left leg up, I'm gonna open my right shoulder to twist. And then I'm gonna take that right arm and reach it under my chest to twist to the other direction. So you don't have to drop down onto the shoulder. It's more a twist through the chest. So again, that's a rotation out. And then full breath, reach that arm under the chest and across, trying to stay on balance. Inhale, exhale, opening the arm. And inhale, exhale, reaching it under. 2 more, inhale. I know it's a bit wobbly, that's part of the challenge. And reaching the arm under. We'll do 1 more here. Inhale, exhale, open. And inhale, exhale to reach. Taking your legs down, taking your arm down. Reset with 1 big cat stretch. So curling that tail under, pushing into the shoulders. And then releasing the pelvis, ribs, and chest forward. Let's do 1 more because it feels good. Inhale, exhale, big stretch. Inhale, exhale, big stretch in the other direction. And we'll swivel our legs over to the other side. So if you were just on your right side for that first side series, we're on our left side now. Beginning with our twist, so I'll give everyone a moment to get settled there. That's it, knees are tucked right up. Arm is there for a pillow. And we're gonna take our top arm to the side. And then as you unfold the chest or as you let it spill back, let the ribs kind of follow and even the top half of the pelvis follows in that twist. Start to roll back that hip, that ribs, and then the shoulder. We'll go again here. Inhale, big sweep with the arm. Exhale, bringing out the spine. And start to roll that hip forward. Ribs start to follow and the shoulder follows. Again. Inhale. Exhale, twist. And inhale. Exhale, return. Last one. Inhale. Exhale, twist. And inhale. Exhale to return. A little bit more active now with a side plank or half a side plank. So I'm up on my elbow. Remember to stay nice and active through that side so we're not settling through the shoulder. And then you're gonna pick the hips up and then lower the hips down. Pick the hips up and lower the hips down. That's it, pick the hips up. So normal to feel lots of work through the side abs or even that bottom thigh. We're gonna stay up in our plank here and try to reach that top arm under the chest. Unfold and release. Inhale, lift. Exhale, twist. Inhale, open. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, twist. Inhale, open. Exhale, lower. One more here. In, out, in, and out. So if you're on your left side, supporting side, now our left knee is going to be the one we move on to for our swim prep exercise. So left knee down, right leg back. I'm going to lift that right leg up to hip height. And my left arm's going to open side like that airplane wing. As we go through this one, remember to keep that back glute sort of active. So it's my right glute lifting that right leg up. Go ahead, moving into that rotation. Inhale, rotate the shoulder. Exhale, sweep it across and reach. Inhale, open. Exhale, twist and reach. Inhale, open. And exhale, reach. Inhale, open. Let's do one more for good measure here. Inhale, open. And exhale, reach. Good. Bring arm and leg down. One cat stretch here. Curl, pushing into those ribs and arch. Come back to your neutral spine here. Just changing up the exercise a little bit. You're going to tuck your toes under. Stay neutral through the hips. Push through the arms and lift your knees to a hover. That's it. So we're using arms and legs for that hover. Next part to this, we're going to start to bring the left thigh up like we're doing a twist and then move it down to meet the right thigh. Right thigh slides up and in and then it comes back down. Left thigh slides up and in and bring it down. Right thigh slides up and in. We're just going to do one more each side here. Inhale, thigh slides up. Exhale, return. Inhale, thigh slides up. Exhale, return. Settle onto the knees and just bring your hips back into a stretch. Good. Okay, let's move into a little bit of work in extension. So we're going to come to a lying position, lying face down on our chest. The arms are going to be like this on the mat. So my elbows are soft on the floor and my hands are right by my shoulders. Okay, when we go through our extension work, I like to concentrate first on that upper spine before we move into the full extension to our lower spine. So let's try to be specific about it. Worth it to take the time for it. Okay, so very specifically here, we're going to float the head up just to a hover, like barely off the floor, maybe an inch or so. And then before lifting, I want you to think of pushing your chest or your sternum or your breastbone forwards towards the wall in front of you. And then lengthen again out to the top of your head. And then think of the sternum lengthening forwards to the wall in front of you. We'll do one more little incremental lift like that. So lengthen through the top of the head, and then that sternum floats forward and up. Start to float your hands off of your mat and start bringing your shoulders wide or the chest wide. And then you're going to melt the spine down to return. So that can be kind of painfully specific, but hard to access those muscles. So let's do that a few more times. Okay, so we start by lifting the head up just barely off of the mat. And then before thinking of lift, I want you to think push the chest forwards to glide up. Pausing there, lengthen again through the top of the head. And then push the center of the chest forwards and up. Pausing there, last incremental lift. Lengthen through the head. Move the sternum forwards and up. Pausing there, we're going to lift our hands up to a hover. Inhale. And then exhale, lower the spine back down. One last one like that. So incremental lifts here. Floating the head off the mat. And then lengthening the chest forwards and up. Lengthen out through the crown of the head. And then pushing the chest forwards and up. Last little lift here. Lengthen first. And then move the chest forwards and up. And then we're going to float our arms off of the mat. Big inhale here. And then exhale, lower the spine back down. Good work, everyone. Thanks for taking the time to be specific with that. Let's move into the breaststroke. I'm just sitting up so you can see what my arms are going to do. I'm going to be lying face down, and I'm going to move through a breaststroke. So it'll be a sort of reach through the middle to come down to a hover, and then a lift up through my chest. Okay? So I'll show you here. We can all set ourselves up, hands glued to the forehead rather. I'm going to lift up to that hover, try to find those muscles between the shoulder blades we just worked. And then take your inhale to reach the arms overhead. Exhale, you're going to open the arms wide to lift the chest up like you're swimming through. Inhale, dive forward, hover the chest down. Exhale, wide arms to lift the chest up. Again, inhale forward and exhale, floating up. Inhale, dive forward and exhale, float the chest up. Beautiful, everyone. Good, let's do 5 more here. Inhale, forwards and exhale, lift. Inhale, forwards, exhale, lift. Last 3, think of that chest coming forwards and up. 2 and 1. Nice, release your spine down, push back into the hips, round out through the spine and stretch for a moment there. Nice work, everyone. Good. Okay, so we're gonna roll up and let's bring our feet in front of us. We'll do one last little ab series here with a little bit of glute work. Okay, so we're lying down. Knees are bent, feet are flat to the mat. And we're going to lift our hips up. Now, just a reminder, at the beginning of class, we cued into those glutes working to support the back, those abs gently pulling in, and even those inner thighs squeezing to your midline. Focus on the right glute, so connect to that right glute to lift the left leg all the way up. So toe over hip, that's it. You're gonna lower that foot down as you flex the foot, and then you're gonna point the toe and pick the leg back up. Without dropping the pelvis, lower and flex the foot, and then point and lift. Flex and lower, point and lift. We're gonna just do one more here, flex and lower, point and lift, and then return your left foot down. Let's reset between sides, so lower your hips, relaxing those glutes. Gather the glutes to pick the hips up again. Focus on that left glute, that left supporting side. Bring the right leg up. Even that left inner thigh connects to your midline. And then flex and lower that right leg and point and lift it up. Flex and lower and point and lift. Flex and lower, point and lift. Last two, flex and lower, point and lift. One more, flex and lower, point and lift. Return your foot down, relax your hips. Stretch your legs out and reach your arms back. Few roll-ups here. So our roll-ups start with our arms reaching to the ceiling, moving through your ab curl, and then continuing to reach the spine forward till you come forwards over the thighs. And then rolling back from here. So hips start to round back, back returns, ribs return, and then arms reach back overhead. We'll do this again. Inhale, arms forward, exhale, round. Inhale, exhale, forwards over the thighs. And then find that nice articulation of the spine as we roll back down. Last one here. Inhale the arms forward, exhale, curl. Up and over those thighs. Nice work. And then rolling the spine down to return. Good. Bend your knees once more. You're going to lift your heels up like you're doing a calf raise. And we're going to pick our hips up against that hip lift position. From here, you're going to squeeze the heels down and then lift the heels up. So hips are high and we do our calf raises here. So heels drop, heels lift, heels drop, heels lift, heels drop, heels lift. One more, heels drop, heels lift. Take your right knee up. And on that left heel, 4 little calf raises. 4, lift, 3, lift, 2, lift, 1. You're gonna float the right toes down. Keep that right heel lifted as you pick the left thigh up. And 4 little calf raises here. 4, 3, try to keep the hips high. 2, and 1. Float that left foot down, release your hips down. Stretch your legs out. Reaching your arms back, we'll go for a roll up again. So arms forward, chest rolls forward, and then stretching that spine up and over those thighs. And then rolling back here, hips, ribs, neck and head. Continuing that movement forwards. Inhale, exhale, over. And inhale, exhale, rolling back. We'll do one more here. Inhale, exhale, curl, up and over. And inhale, exhale, rolling it back. Very nice. Let's just bring our knees up again and do a sway from side to side just to reset through that lower spine. Okay. And then once you finish those little knee drops from side to side, we're gonna make our way over to our right side. So this work is meant to focus sort of that upper glute side of hip. Don't worry if you find today you're feeling a lot of it through the quad. Sometimes it's hard to tap into those muscles. But we will start on our side here. So I'm just gonna move my little bar. Okay. And then in this side lying position, both legs are gonna be straight. And you can even bring your bottom arm all the way stretched along the mat. Make sure that your toes are right below your hips. So if you notice you're kind of arching through the back, just align yourself so toes are below your hips. Yeah. Top leg is gonna lift up to hip height and the bottom leg's gonna squeeze up to meet it, and then both toes are gonna lower down. Top thigh lifts, bottom thigh lifts, and both toes drop. Top thigh lifts, bottom thigh lifts, and lower. Top thigh, bottom thigh, and lower. One more here, top, bottom, and lower down. Big circle with that top leg. So top foot's gonna brush forward. It's gonna open around to the side and open around to the back. And then coming around again, forward, side, and back. That's it. Forward, side, and back. See if you can do your best to keep the leg moving separately from the pelvis. And then we're gonna reverse those circles. So again, think of the leg doing that big circle kind of inside that hip socket, as opposed to the whole pelvis kind of moving with the leg. Easier said than done. We'll do one more circle here. Back, side, and front. Bring the legs together. You're gonna tuck your knees in. Take your top leg and reach it out along to hip height, and we'll go through side kicks. So this one, we're gonna kick forward twice, and then point and reach the leg back. So 2 pulses forward, little kick, kick, and then point and reach. See if you can get that deep fold through the front of the hip as you sweep the leg forward, point and reach back. So we're thinking of that thigh bone drawing in, folding through the front of the hip, and then lengthening out the front. We'll do 4 more here. And reach. So this is the same thing, the leg moves independently from the whole pelvis. And 3. And 2. And 1. And reaching the leg down. Good. Let's go right away to the other side. Okay, so leg sweep. Just before we go to the other side, while I'm standing, I'll show you when we do get to those side kicks. What I mean by moving the legs separately from the pelvis is that we're getting that fold through the hip. Kick, kick, reach, as opposed to tucking the pelvis under, right, and taking it sort of ribs and leg moving in one piece. We want to encourage that leg to be like a pendulum, moving separate from our pelvis. Okay, that can take some work, but let's see if we can use it as a starting point for today. On our left sides here, we're going to take our top leg up to hip height, bottom leg comes up to meet it, and then lower those toes. Top leg, bottom leg, and lower. Top leg, bottom leg, and lower. That's it. We're thinking of length and lift, and lower. Length and lift, lower. One more, up, and down, going to full leg circle. So top leg is going to sweep forward, side, and back. And forward, side, and back. See if you can feel that spin of the thigh in the socket. And forward, side, and back. Reversing those circles, going back, side, and front. Back, side, and front. 2 more, back, side, front. Last one, back, side, and front. Folding those knees up. Take your top leg, reach it down below your hip. And we'll focus on that crease. So as the leg sweeps forward, relax that glute. Widen that sit bone. And then as you sweep the leg back, think of narrowing the sits bone or gathering the glute. No, those are specific images, but widening that sits bone to let that thigh release and then gathering to reach back. As that sit bone widens, feel that deep fold to the front of the hip. We'll go again for 4. Kick, kick, and reach. For 3, kick, kick, and reach. At this point, I know my glute's pretty tired on this side. Last one here, kick, kick, and reach. Releasing the toe down. Okay, I have one more exercise planned. I know we took a few minutes to get sorted because of tech issues. If anyone has to go right now, feel free to go. If not, we're going to do one more exercise, which is a push-up and a plank exercise, so a little bit more high power. For this one, I just have to quickly move my computer. Okay. And we're going to line ourselves up at the back end of our mat here. All right. starting the same way we did before at the very beginning of class with our roll downs. So we're gonna roll the spine down towards our feet. And then you're gonna try to walk your hands forward to a plank position. So as many walks with your hands as you need to come forward into plank. From here, we're just gonna do one push-up. So you can come down onto your knees or keep the legs straight. We lower down, we press back up. Whether your knees are down or your legs are straight, we're gonna lift the hips up and then walk your hands back towards your feet. Start to roll your spine back upright to standing. We'll go over that again. So roll the spine down. And then walk your hands out to plank. And then do 2 push-ups in that plank position there. 1 push-up, 2 push-ups. Lift your hips up, walk your hands back to your toes, and then roll yourself up. We'll do that again, rolling down. Inhale. Exhale to the floor, walking it out, knees down or legs straight. We do 3 push-ups. Inhale down, exhale, push. Inhale down, exhale, push. Last one, inhale down, exhale, push. Lift your hips up through downward dog. Walk your hands back to your feet and then roll and stack, roll and stack, roll and stack. We'll do that one more time. Inhale, exhale, release all those bones. Walking out, big plank. So last 4 push-ups here, lowering down. Inhale, big push, exhale. Inhale, push, exhale. Inhale, push, exhale. Last one, guys. Inhale, exhale. Lift your hips up. Walk your hands back to your feet. And then roll yourself up to standing here. Good. To finish, just reach your arms forward. And we're gonna go through gentle twists through that upper spine. Just feeling the rotation through the chest and shoulders. Try not to squeeze and stop at the end range. Make it more fluid, like our bones are sort of soft and floating. So we're just feeling all that movement through the chest. Keep going here, a few more each direction. I can't help myself but finish with a kneeling hinge because it's such a good release for our lower back. So bring your arms down, roll your spine towards the floor. Walk your hands out, bringing your knees down under your hips and your hands under your shoulders. And neutral pelvis, just fold through the hips. Why don't we go a little further, rounding out the back as the hips drop to heels. And then as the hips lift away from the heels, start to reach the sits bones back on that horizon. Okay, so there's a point where we take the hinge, and then a point where we start to roll the pelvis down towards the heels. And then as we release that pelvis, the sits bones find the horizon again. Being very specific here, so fold through the knees, sits bones joint straight back. And then as you continue to push the hips down to the heels, round the back. And then start to release the back, sits bones, find the horizon. We'll do one more like this, okay? So hinging, sits bones straight back, and then rounding the pelvis, hips to heels. Good, and then coming back to all fours. Tuck your toes under. Let's take a last roll up to standing for the day. So we lift our hips up. Take your time with this one. So use all the awareness you built throughout the class. So starting with those feet, the weight's evenly distributed. Those knees are soft. And as our pelvis starts to roll up, those bones just stack. So no need to hold our posture here. Let the bones and the muscles find those centered places. And then we roll up, head is last to return. Very nice work, everybody. These online classes, I think I'm getting used to them. It's obviously not the same as being together in person, but in a way, for me as a teacher, I have to be even more specific than I am normally in person, just because it's hard to know what people are getting when they're through a screen. But if you have any questions, I can stay on for a few minutes. Or if questions come up later, I guess I can see you next time. Or Sarahi, if you got questions about Pilates, you can always forward them to me.
Great class. So wonderful, Lily. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Maria.
Yeah, thank you,
All
Lily.
of you are wonderful. It's so nice to teach a group of people again. It means a lot to me. So thank you.